In this video, we will be starting out with why we use a vacuum, how they work, some important factors to consider, and the major types. First, we vacuum because it removes more dust and soil than a dust mop or broom, as it actually sucks up the debris rather than pushing them around, as well as the fact that while dust mopping or sweeping dust particles are pushed up into the air, making it harder to mop later and making the air less healthy for those living in the home. The air quality is proven to be better with vacuums, as there is a proven reduction in pathogens and in airborne contaminants. Vacuuming is also faster, as proven by one study in which they had a janitor use both a dust mop and then a vacuum on a classroom. And the vacuum only took him 25 minutes, while dust mopping took 47. Second, all vacuums use negative pressure to do their job. A vacuum works by using an electric motor to create negative pressure, which draws air in to fill the space, which carries dust, dirt, and contaminants with it, and passes through a filter media, typically being a bag or foam filter, which traps the dirt, dust, and other contaminants, allowing the air itself to exit out of the exhaust. Third, one factor to consider when choosing a vacuum is whether or not they are bagged. If they're bagged, then they are better for allergen control, have less dust exposure, and have generally better filtration. Some downsides to these are that the bags have to be replaced, and the vacuum efficiency declines after a bag is half. With the bagless vacuums, the cost of ownership is lower. This depends upon the model you choose, of course, and you can see how full a vacuum is. But there is more dust exposure when emptying the canister, and it is more time intensive to clean the filters. Another factor that we need to consider are the attachments that come with and are available for a vacuum. Attachments are a key part of the design and functionality of a vacuum, and it is important to use the right attachment for a job. Some common attachments you may come across are the hard surface flooring tool, which often has a soft brush underneath to help protect the hard floors, a carpet tool, a combination tool, a crevice tool, which lessens the surface area of the suction from the vacuuming, making the suction greater in one area and allowing smaller places to be reached. A furniture brush tool, which often has removable brushes for different surfaces. A dusting tool, which is often used for things such as lampshades or other surfaces which need dusted gently, or surfaces on which the dust needs agitation to come loose. And then the turbo beater bar, which can be handheld or floor and is typically used in home. The third factor we're looking at is suction control. With this, you should know where your canister vacuum cleaner's suction control is. It is also important that a vacuum cleaner's suction can be lowered to clean delicate surfaces and objects such as upholstered furniture, curtains, and drapes, as too much suction could cause them to be pulled into the vacuum. Fringes on area rugs, as well as for soft rugs and lampshades. These controls are often on the top of the bar and can be in the form of a slider or a button. The fourth factor to consider is HEPA filtration. This stands for high efficiency particulate air. It can trap large numbers of very small particles, all the way down to microns, such as pollen, and the most powerful can even trap bacteria. These can be bagged or bagless, though bagged is better for those suffering with allergies. A vacuum must be sealed to get the HEPA results. So putting a HEPA filter on a leaky vacuum design will not give you HEPA performance, as the particles will be able to escape the filter by shooting out through the leaks. Some filters will claim to be HEPA-like filters, and though they can be effective, they will not do the same job as a true HEPA filter, which is more heavily tested and trusted for use even in hospitals. CRI certification stands for Carpet and Rug Institute, which is made up of carpeting manufacturers. They do rigorous lab testing of vacuums and certify and rate the entire vacuum, not just the filter. The 3 levels a vacuum can earn are bronze, silver, and gold, which are all great for vacuuming performance. This certification is great because the carpeting manufacturers truly want you to be able to find the best vacuum to take care of your carpets and will test them accordingly. We also have to look at a vacuum's commercial rating. Those which are commercially rated are designed to withstand hours of consistent use and have professional-friendly features and durability. These also have better electrical safety, which includes a third prong in the plug to ensure that it is grounded at all times. Another great thing about commercial vacuums is that they tend to be more serviceable, such as the motors being easier to replace because the manufacturers know that with more wear comes more breakage, and they want to make sure that the customer can easily fix the issues that will arise. The next factor to consider is if they are cordless. These vacuums have exceptional maneuverability, leading to an increased efficiency and can be great for spaces with limited outlets. That's why we use them personally. But these vacuum cleaners can also be lower power, have a higher upfront cost, can be heavy, and their battery life can be a limiting factor. These vacuums have exceptional maneuverability, leading to an increased efficiency and can be great for spaces with limited outlets. But these vacuum cleaners can be lower power, have a higher upfront cost, can be heavy, and their battery life can be a limiting factor. Overall, the increased maneuverability is often worth the drawbacks. The seventh thing it can be important to consider is the sound level. This can be important for hearing health and to minimize the disruption for the customers. A lower noise level also reduces operator fatigue, with the typical range for commercial vacuums being 60 to 85 decibels, and some of the lowest being in the high 40s, which is the sound of a low-level conversation. The quieter ones typically being canister vacuums. The noise level is a very important factor to look at. Another really important consideration is weight, as professionals will be using this vacuum for hours every day. When homeowners are looking for vacuums, they often look at other considerations previously brought up. But as a professional, you will be lugging this vacuum around all day, so it must be a comfortable weight. The definition of overweight can vary depending on many factors, such as your strength, what you're using it for, how much you will need to move it around. But it is safe to say that when given the choice between two vacuums that both do the job you need done equally well, you should choose the lighter one because it will be less fatiguing. The ninth factor you have to consider is the amps or the horsepower, which will often be marked on consumer vacuums at the stores, but has little to do with actual vacuum effectiveness. Instead of looking at these flashy numbers, you should look at water lift or static pressure and CFM. Water lift or static pressure is the standardized measurements of suction power, which are measured in inches. A strong suction power would be 80 or greater. CFM measures how much air a vacuum can move in 1 minute. This is measured in cubic feet and considered strong when 125 or higher, though strong uprights can have lower ratings. Any commercial vacuum cleaner worth looking at will provide you with both of these numbers. With this, the strongest is not always the best, as you will still need to match your vacuum to the job you're doing, as too powerful a vacuum can cause scratches or damage to surfaces. Fourth is types of vacuum cleaners. We're going to be focusing on types of vacuums typically used by professional house cleaners. So we are not covering handheld, stick, robot vacuums, or larger commercial vacuum cleaners. We're not speaking on any of these types, as you will most likely not see any of them during your professional career. As we speak about different types, it is important to remember that there is not one right answer, and it is okay to have an opinion on the ones you like the most. The first type we're looking at is the upright vacuum. The pros of this style is that the powerful suction combined with the beater bar is best for carpets, which is why they are great for deep cleaning carpets, especially the bagged models. They have an easy tilt and push design and have a low upright cost for many of the models. Some of their cons are that they are not as versatile as other vacuum types, as they usually have fewer attachments to choose from, or the attachments are more difficult to use than with other vacuum types. They are also heavier to push or pull than the power head of a canister vacuum. The best performers of these tend to be over 20 pounds, and they also tend to be noisier because of the beater bar. They struggle to get corners and edges, and they're hard to use on stairs. Using a regular upright vacuum on hard surface flooring can also be problematic, as the brushes and wheels scratch hardwood floors, and the brushes scatter debris across the hardwood floors. Unless you can switch off the beater bar. If you have the option to switch off the beater bar on your vacuum, then that means it has a dual motor. One motor for the vacuum and one for the beater bar, which sounds great, except for that means it weighs even more. Next, we have the canister vacuum, such as Mr. Henry, which is a vacuum cleaner comprised of a low-profile canister with a long hose and typically includes a variety of attachments. These vacuums are versatile as they can clean and dust just about anything, and the motorized brush roll power head on some models cleans carpet just as well as an upright vacuum, while bare floor attachments clean hard surfaces effectively. The low-profile head designs easily reach under furniture and are lighter to push than uprights. With other attachments, you can clean furniture, curtains, walls, and ceiling corners. Compact bodies and long hoses make them well suited for cleaning stairs as well. Some of their cons are that dragging a canister behind you reduces efficiency and can damage contents, such as pulling on an end table and knocking off a figurine and scratch floor finishes. They require 2 hands to use on stairs, one to hold it and one to vacuum, and are bulky to transport. The vacuums we use are backpack vacuums, which are very popular in the professional cleaning industry. They are strapped to the back of the operator, while the weight should be carried by the hips, not the shoulders, like a camping backpack. They're also available in both corded and cordless versions. They provide freedom of movement, which in turn increases cleaning efficiency. And the newer backpack models are as light as 9 to 12 pounds. They also have ergonomic straps that place weight on the hips specifically. Make sure to look for straps that are comfortable for you. They are a good choice for both carpet and hard floor surfaces, as they can have a multitude of attachments, similar to a canister vacuum. They are a good choice for high traffic or congested areas, and have a lower maintenance cost due to the simpler design and smaller number of parts that wear. Some of their cons include that they require more operator training to use safely, such as proper strap use and posture, which is very important, as too much weight on the shoulders or the hips or bad posture can cause upper body and back issues. They require more body awareness so as not to bump or knock things over. Also, the upfront cost can be higher, and the lack of a beater bar attachment for carpets on most models causes issues. Although on some you can find them, like ones we do have a beater bar attachment, which is great for carpets. The CRI has stated that suction is more important than a beater bar, but we know how much our customers desire the groomed look that a beater bar provides on carpets. So we tend to favor the opinions of our customers. For that reason, the models we use do have an optional beater bar attachment. There are also central vacuums, which are the power units tucked away in the basement, garage, or any inconspicuous place, and provide suction power via the hose outlet placed throughout the home. To use these, all you have to do is plug a hose into one of these outlets. Most homes will not have these, although they are a very intriguing home addition, and most clients that do have this will desire that you use it. The pros of these are that debris you pick up will be transported straight into the suction unit and exhaust the outside air, making these best for air quality and allergen control. It also alleviates the need to lug suction units, such as vacuums, throughout the house, as you only have to plug in a hose into an outlet and use the power head. The cons of this design is that hoses can be cumbersome when they reach about 30 feet, which is how long customers like to have them. And also, they're hard to store. Each unit being set up differently between homes can also reduce efficiency. And there's no place to store vacuum accessories as you work, such as there is on a vacuum vac, or most canister vacuums have places. On to a new topic with mop systems. With these, there are many different choices. First is string mops. Those are the old-fashioned custodial mop, and they break down into 2 types. Cut end is economy grade, not as durable due to loose ends, usually made of cotton, and looped end is more durable, available in synthetics or cotton. These mops are inexpensive and easier to get into the corners of the tight places than a flat or sponge mop. They are excellent for cleaning up large messes or very wet areas, particularly in commercial spaces, but they can be hard to wring out depending on the wringing mechanism, and they also take longer to dry. When buying cheaper mop heads, They can also leave bits of string or cotton on the floor. So with these, a higher quality mop head is needed. These do require a heavy bucket, and again, the cheaper ones will leave lint all over the floor. The second type are strip mops, which are often used in homes, although some commercial grade models are available. These use similar methods to string mops, but are usually smaller and light duty. They are made of strips of absorbent material, such as microfiber, chamois, or thin cellulose strips, which all dry very quickly and can be disposable or reusable. The third type is spin or twist mops. These are similar to string or strip mops, but add spinning action through a pump handle or a handle piece that can be moved up and down to reduce scrubbing, or the scrubbing that you have to do at least. These can be used for both wet and dry mopping, although most cheaper models with plastic parts are designed for home use and may not withstand professional or commercial use, although there are commercial grade models on the market. These are made from microfiber or cotton. Next are sponge mops, which are made of a cellulose or polyurethane foam, which tends to be more durable and does not often flake or break easily, or sponge, and are good for even surfaces like tile. These wring out quickly with their lever and are very absorbent. It is easy to apply pressure to remove stains with the sponge mop, as the surface area is so much lower than most mop models. But these do require diligent care to prevent bacterial growth. One big caveat is that sponges can break down or break off mop heads entirely. Okay, fifth is flat mops, which are cotton terry or microfiber pads that are lightweight and durable. So watch out that you don't buy consumer grade. These typically have a universal head, making it simple to switch mop heads. Universal head, making it simple to switch mop head brands, and are easy to maneuver. Microfiber versions have proven superior pathogen control and have been chosen for hospital use, as well as these mops being set up quickly. They can have built-in liquid dispensers that are sometimes refillable, such as some Swiffer models, and the mop heads can be disposable or reusable. These can require more upfront investment for high-quality systems, and are not suitable for absorbing large amounts of liquid, or in very heavily soiled or wet environments. Again, the main brand of these is Swiffer. These are also the main mops that we choose to use. Sixth are dust mops. These are often used dry to quickly remove light dust or debris from hard surface floors. So they are more thorough than a broom, as less dust is more put into the air, but not a substitute for a vacuum for dirt removal. These are often used to get a quick sweep if people are still around, such as in stores. These tend to be very large, so you might have seen them being used in a mall or on movies if you see people cleaning schools or malls. Dust mops are made from synthetics, wool or cotton, and can be disposable or reusable. When buying reusable, you should make sure that they are removable and able to be washed.